called bare root because the roots are bare. There's no soil. It's cheaper to ship. They're cheaper to buy. But there's a limited time of the year where you want to do that. Yeah, it's pretty dry. You want your plants to be dormant when you ship them.
And what's the sawdust do?
It's just buying me time because it's been in the mail for a week.
Right, it's just grown.
So today I have some bare root plants coming in the mail, so I am in my car going to pick them up. And they've been in the mail for a few days and keep getting rerouted. So what I have back here is a couple of 5-gallon buckets. When they get here, hopefully they have made it through the long journey and I can immediately put them in these buckets and get them home because it will still be a few hours before I get back to the house. So that's my plan. I hope it works. You don't want those plants to be exposed to the air without water for a while. So think ahead and get them back to your house and get them in the ground as quick as possible. So I keep sawdust on hand for this purpose as well as a few other projects. You always need some sawdust. So I just keep it in this plastic container, slightly in the shade for most of the day at least. And it takes me so long to go through this much sawdust, even though I have multiple uses for it. So if you can get your hands on it, most of the time it's free. It's a nuisance to most people. If you find a wood shop, cabinet shop, it's nicely labeled. Anything else in it? Jostaberry.
Okay.
Turkish Rocket. Ben Sarek was a black currant variety. So that's something I knew I was going to get. This one's okay because it's a more root plant, like rhubarb. So it'll be fine, and it stayed moist enough. You go to a big box store, Lowe's or Home Depot, and you're looking at potted plants, that's the season right after bare root plants. So let's say I grew this and it's in the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna dig this up and ship it. If I already see the green starting to leaf out, I'm gonna wait until the fall.
Okay.
I'm not gonna, this is gonna be too late for the spring, but this probably happened just in transit. I just got all of these in the ground. These are all black currants. There's 14 of them in this line. They're all planted on this berm right here. This is a swale in the making. But I thought it was a good spot. It's a little shaded, which black currants can handle a little bit of shade. They can grow in thick forest cover. This isn't that thick, but they should do all right here. A couple of these are the variety Titania. I don't know which ones. They were labeled pretty well, but I saw when I opened the box that these were starting to leaf out, so it was just a mad rush to get them in the ground and get them happy. So I just pulled the labels off, and most of these are Ben Sarek. I don't know if there'll be a difference in how they grow. So maybe that's one way I can identify them once they get a little older. But these 14 black currants, even if all of them don't survive, I'm going to be able to get a massive, absolutely massive amount of cuttings off of these. I'm going to leave them in the ground at least 1 year before I do anything. I want to make sure they have a good home here and get them settled before I start cutting them and repropagating them. I've been working on where the black currants are for a few days. They've been in the ground for a little bit. I've widened this swale. I'm going to try to protect the camera from the rain. Here we got the upper future food forest area right at the top of the camera. And then that water starts to come down into this little pocket pond. And that overflow is getting designed to come into the swale. And then it'll back all the way up there and feed water to the black currants, and then back out into this ditch. So it's working okay, just needs a little more work. You can kind of see where the water stops. It doesn't go all the way to the end. But the main reason I'm out here is, holy moly, look at how well these things are doing. Try not to get super muddy. And it's okay to step here, but I don't want to step over there because that's where I want the water to infiltrate. So I'm okay with compaction here, and I want to leave that to be fluffy and free. Yeah, so put my hat back on. I've been blocking the rain. It's letting up a little bit. So we have a log here, and it kind of banked the soil up. Interesting location. I didn't want to dig too far down into the bottom of the swale because all these trees here, I would just be getting into their roots too much. But I think these currants are going to be so happy here. Here's a smaller log inoculated with shiitake mushrooms. And let's see if I can find it. We've got a mulberry coming up there. Some muscadine vine. Yeah, and with the swale, I want to get some more vegetation behind there, build the swale up more. I think this is going to be a really, really dynamic area, really good for these currants. I just wanted to show just how well they've done. They came in the mail, they started leafing out, and I was real nervous, got them in the ground quick. And you can see I'm starting to mulch just with the leaves and stuff I have here. And it kind of ran out, so when the rain lets up, I'll finish mulching all that so it'll stay wet and stay happy.
Sorry if you can't use any of this.
I have some bare root plants coming in the mail. Turn the camera around. It's in the ground, and I'm gonna dig it. You okay?
Yes.
Turkish rocket. Wow. That's embarrassing. I really thought it was just gonna be like these tiny little cuttings.
Yeah.
I gotta do some research on that. I know the name.